From the Tennessee Valley Weather Center, this is your evening weather update.
All right, it's been a beautiful Thursday afternoon across the Tennessee Valley, but changes are afoot across the area as early as tonight. Clouds increasing. Here's your hourly forecast, dropping out of the 70s into the 60s this evening as clouds increase, and then into the 50s overnight, not really getting out of the mid-50s for overnight lows because clouds increase, the southerly wind kicks up, and moisture returns. And notice after midnight here, we start to see the chance of a few showers working into the area during the early to mid-morning. These will start to move out during late morning, and then we see some peaks of sunshine tomorrow, priming the atmosphere for a severe weather threat. All of the area under a level 3 out of 5 risk of severe weather across southern middle Tennessee, northwest Alabama, and northeast Mississippi. The graphic says Friday, but for our local area, this is mainly a Friday evening and overnight threat. This includes an elevated tornado threat here across the region. You see the yellow here, and you also see the hatching. Notice that hatching means there's the potential for a few EF2 or greater type tornadoes across the area. This may be similar to what we had back last Friday night across North Alabama and southern middle Tennessee. There were actually 5 different tornadoes rated EF2, and it may be similar, not necessarily that many, but there may be a couple to a few across the area. That was in addition to the horrible tornadoes that happened back in the Mississippi last Friday night. A similar overall situation could evolve tomorrow night with the storms, and they may be a little more cellular tomorrow night than what we had in our local area last Friday night, which concerns us for the tornado threat. Time of arrival here. Here's the overall storm timeline. 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. back in the western and northwest areas. We're talking about west of Waynesboro, back through Savannah to Iuka, back into North Mississippi and West Tennessee. The heart of our viewing area, Wayne, Lawrence, Giles counties in Tennessee, up through Lewis, Murray, and Marshall counties, down through the heart of the Shoals, northwest Alabama, down to Russellville. 9 p.m. is the possible arrival time, and the threat lasting as late as 2 a.m. This is going to be a late overnight type of event that starts in the mid to late evening, and then closer to I-65, the green shaded areas here from Limestone County through eastern Lawrence County, Alabama, Morgan County, Alabama. Time of arrival as early as 11 p.m. tomorrow night, and this may last through 3 or 4 a.m. We'll break down the timing with Futurecast starting this evening, and clear skies out here, dropping into the 60s out of the 70s this evening, but clouds increase during the overnight, and even by midnight, maybe a few spotty showers over southern middle Tennessee as moisture increases. Those continue to move in as we head through Friday morning. But notice the shifts out of the way by midday, and we start to see some breaks in the cloud cover. And as that happens, and with a strong south wind tomorrow, we quickly warm into the 70s by midday in the afternoon. Florence on Futurecast here, even briefly hitting 80 degrees if that's right. A few more spotty showers or thunderstorms during the afternoon. Notice even behind those, the atmosphere does not stabilize from the rain. There's no rain-cooled air involved because we warm back up after those afternoon showers move by, so the atmosphere is still unstable. Then as we get towards 7, 8, 9 o'clock, these individual supercells out of North Mississippi and West Tennessee start to move into the area. This is the start of the core of the severe weather threat, I think by around 8 o'clock or so in the evening over our western counties. Notice they continue to shift in, and notice, like we talked about, this is not a solid line of thunderstorms. These are these isolated individual supercells. That's the one difference in our local area here across our viewing area between last week and what's expected tomorrow night. The models are not showing solid line this time, and this increases the tornado threat. Notice they continue in through the area through 10 or 11 o'clock. These supercells continue to move in. Eventually, once they get closer to I-65, they do start to line out a bit, but you can tell within the line itself still some supercell elements that continues an elevated tornado threat. And then the final line with the cold front passes through around 2 or 3, ending the severe weather threat, and then clearing out behind that. And we're back into the low to mid 50s for morning lows across southern middle Tennessee, mid to upper 50s over northwest Alabama, and a little cooler behind the front. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. Local time frame for our viewing area tomorrow night, opening up around 8 p.m. and the threat lasting as late as 4 a.m. This is an overnight threat starting in the mid to late evening all the way And through early Saturday morning before daybreak, before everything moves out, elevated risk of severe thunderstorms for the entire viewing area. We're talking about the potential for damaging straight line winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour, maybe a few spots even stronger than that, as well as a few line-embedded tornadoes possible, and one or two of those could be EF2 or greater. However, you saw that in addition to a line on the front, there were those isolated individual supercells out ahead of it. Those will have a better chance of strong EF2 or greater tornadoes with any of those supercells that are possible. And if that does occur, those could be the kind that could be down on the ground for a while. So we have to be careful as we head through the evening and the overnight tomorrow. And then we'll be watching next week. Now, a lot of the models take the brunt of the severe weather risk with the system next Tuesday night, and the Wednesday off to our northwest. The greatest threat may be to the northwest of our area. However, Storm Prediction Center does have our region in an outlook for possible severe thunderstorms. I think in our local area, if we see anything, we're likely talking about the overnight hours of Tuesday night and the Wednesday morning. But look, let's get through our threat Friday night first before we start detailing this one, and we'll start doing that as we head through the weekend ahead. Check in with Brian Wilson's updates Saturday and Sunday. Here's Futurecast bringing the system in Friday night. That passes on by. We're back to clearing skies for Saturday. A little cooler with a northwest wind, highs in the upper 60s, so not overly cold. High pressure shifting off to the east Sunday, so we started southerly flow again, upper 60s to lower 70s, and we're warm next week. Maybe a shower or two, maybe a thunderstorm across the area Monday into the daytime hours of Tuesday, with the system passing to our south. Highs well into the 70s Monday, and I think we're headed close to 80 degrees as we head to the middle of next week. Mid to upper 70s for our Friday. Back into the upper 60s here behind the front, but still not overly chilly, except for Sunday morning. We start in the upper 30s and lower 40s briefly, and then we warm back up headed into next week. 75 for Monday, 79 if not the lower 80s by Tuesday and Wednesday of the upcoming work week. Your hometown forecast for tomorrow: scattered showers and thunderstorms here and there through the day, otherwise partly sunny, highs in the mid to upper 70s, and then the evening and overnight threat of strong to severe thunderstorms. More of the same in northwest Alabama here, mid to upper 70s to near 80 in spots, partly sunny with a few scattered showers and thunderstorms through the day. The better chance of strong to severe thunderstorms during the evening and overnight hours. Here's your 7-day forecast from the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Again, we'll be watching tomorrow night very carefully for that severe weather threat. Everything out of here by daybreak on Saturday. Clouds increase on Sunday, still in the upper 60s, and then warmer next week, especially Monday through Wednesday. Highs between 75 and 80 with scattered showers and thunderstorms. We'll be watching that next weather system toward Tuesday night and Wednesday morning for maybe another strong thunderstorm threat, but too far out. Let us get past the Friday night threat first, and then we'll start detailing that. Lingering showers in a Thursday. There's the latest 7-day forecast. I'll be back at 9 o'clock with another check of your local weather.